Imagine for a moment you're sharing an AI conversation with a colleague. Maybe it's a brilliant new marketing idea, or even a sensitive project proposal. What if that whole discussion, full of private details, just suddenly popped up on Google? For anyone to see, this isn't some, far-fetched fear. It was actually a very real thing for a lot of people just recently.
Yeah, it was a proper wake-up call, wasn't it? Kind of like finding your private diary just, displayed in the town square. A true stark reminder of our digital footprint these days.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're digging into a pretty critical incident from mid-2025. It was when a technical glitch exposed private ChatGPT conversations to the public internet. But this deep dive isn't just about that one platform, right? It's really a bigger lesson in digital privacy for all of us.
Exactly. Our mission today is, well, first to help you understand what actually happened, then guide you through the immediate steps to clean up any potential past exposures from that. After that, we'll kind of zoom out, look at other AI data risks lurking around. Then we'll talk about building safer habits, definitely. And we'll even show you a smarter, much more secure way to share AI-generated stuff. And finally, yeah, we'll unpack this really sophisticated prompt that basically acts like your own personal AI safety co-pilot.
Okay, so it's all about understanding what went wrong, how to react now, and crucially, how to build a much safer workflow going forward in this AI world. Let's unpack this. So this specific incident with ChatGPT where the shared links somehow got indexed by search engines, it really exposed a kind of hidden vulnerability. Now, OpenAI, they acted quickly to fix it, which is good. But even with that fix, some data, like a digital residue, might still be lingering out there, just floating around.
That's exactly right. Like a digital ghost in the machine, as you said. So the first and honestly the most fundamental step, if you've ever created a shared link through ChatGPT, is simply to delete it right from inside the platform. Go log into your account, click on your profile name, usually bottom left corner, then navigate to settings. From there, head over to data controls, and you'll see shared links. Just review that list carefully. For each link you find, click the little three-dot icon, the vertical one, and select Delete Shared Link. Doing that makes the old URL return a 404 not found error. So it breaks the link. That's the start.
Okay, but a 404, while good, isn't always the complete end of the story, is it? Like the title or maybe a small snippet of that conversation might still hang around in search results for a bit, like an echo.
Precisely. That echo is the problem. And that's where the second crucial step comes in. You need to actively speed up its complete removal from Google's search index using their own tool. So after you've deleted the link inside ChatGPT, you go straight to Google's Remove Outdated Content tool. Once you're there, you click New Request, paste in that ChatGPT URL you just deleted, and just follow their instructions. They're pretty straightforward. Google usually processes these requests in maybe a few hours. Sometimes it can take up to 2 or 3 days for it to fully vanish from the search results, but it gets it done.
So just to be crystal clear then, if we're talking about the single most crucial, non-negotiable action for a really complete cleanup, what is that?
It's definitely a two-part dance. You absolutely have to delete the link inside ChatGPT first. But critically, you must follow that up by using Google's tool to tell them to remove the outdated content from their search results. You need both steps. One without the other isn't really a full cleanup.
Right, got it. Okay, so this ChatGPT thing was no doubt a big deal, a really stark reminder about how fragile digital privacy can be sometimes. But connecting this to the bigger picture, it does feel like maybe just the tip of the iceberg, doesn't it? The risk isn't just about ChatGPT.
Oh, absolutely. Well, ChatGPT got all the headlines. Other AI models like Google Gemini or Claude, they have their own ways of sharing, their own data policies. You really need to look into those too. But beyond just sharing, there are other risks, maybe more subtle ones, lurking around, like, for instance, how AI models use your data for training. Many models, sort of by default, might use your conversations to train future versions. Basically, the AI learns from your input to get better, unless you specifically go into settings and turn that off.
Oh, yeah.
Then you've got third-party extensions, these little browser add-ons that connect with AI. They can sometimes harvest your data without you really knowing exactly what they're taking. And finally, there's this idea of supply chain attacks. AI tools often rely on lots of other software libraries and services. A vulnerability anywhere in that chain, like one weak link, could potentially expose your data that flows through it.
So it sounds like it's not just about how we choose to share information, but we need to be fundamentally aware of where our data is going and maybe who else might be seeing it or using it. Beyond the direct sharing risk, in your view, what's maybe the most significant hidden risk that people tend to overlook?
That's a great question. I'd argue it's that AI training aspect we just touched on. The fact that models might be learning from your private conversations without you actively consenting or even realizing it's the default setting. Many platforms just use your inputs to improve themselves unless you opt out. That's a huge, often unseen data exposure right there.
Okay, this definitely raises a really important question then. Given all these risks, how do we fundamentally shift our approach? How do we actually build safer, more robust AI work habits? The source material gives us three sort of golden rules.
Yeah, and these rules are really about changing your mindset. The first one is maybe the most profound. Treat every single input as if it's a potential public record. Before you type anything into an AI, just pause for a second. Ask yourself, would I be okay with this information appearing on the front page of a newspaper tomorrow?
Hmm.
If the answer is no, just don't enter it. It's a really simple but incredibly powerful mental check.
That is a powerful filter. I have to admit, I still wrestle with prompt drift myself sometimes. You get into a long chat and you start getting maybe a little too comfortable, a little too detailed. What's the next golden rule for us?
The second rule is all about practical vigilance. Regularly audit your privacy settings, like really regularly. AI platforms update all the time, and sometimes those updates quietly change default settings. So make it a habit, maybe monthly. Just pop into the settings sections, look for things like data controls, privacy, security in your AI tools. Make sure everything still aligns with how you want your data handled. Things change fast, so your checks need to keep up.
And the third rule, it sounds like it shifts the responsibility. It makes it broader than just, say, the IT department's job. It's everyone's job now.
That's exactly right. Digital hygiene, especially with AI tools, is now just a core part of modern work culture. It has to
Yeah.
be. Whether you're a leader, a creator, an employee, whatever your role, actively protecting data, your own, your teams, your customers, it's just an essential skill now, non-negotiable. It's really everyone's shared responsibility to keep that digital environment secure.
Okay, so if we boil these rules down to a core message for our daily habits, what's the essence we should carry forward? What's the takeaway?
I think the essence is really a three-part commitment. First, think before you type anything sensitive. Second, regularly check your privacy settings. And third, always remember that data security is a team effort. Those are kind of the pillars for safe AI interaction, personal responsibility plus collective awareness.
Okay, so if sharing those live links directly from ChatGPT or similar platforms carries these inherent risks we've talked about,
Hmm.
what's a safer, more reliable workflow we should actually adopt?
Yeah.
Especially for sharing AI-generated ideas or information with colleagues.
Yeah, great question. The main goal here is to completely break that direct link back to the original AI chat. The new, safer process is actually pretty simple, though. Okay, it does add a few extra minutes. First step, obviously, generate your idea or content with the AI. Then, this is crucial, copy that content out of the AI and into a secure, controlled document, something like Google Docs, Notion, maybe a standard Word doc. Then, and you must do this diligently, rigorously redact and remove all identifying information. I mean, things like client names, specific financial numbers, internal project codes. Replace them all with generic placeholders like client name or project X. Only after that cleansing process do you share that secure document, never, ever the original AI link itself. And hey, for stuff that's extremely sensitive, you can even go the route of taking screenshots and manually blacking out the critical bits. It's definitely less convenient, sure, but it is undeniably safer. It completely severs the tie.
So the absolute safest approach for sharing AI insights really boils down to what? What's the core principle?
It's adding that layer of rigorous manual review to the content first, and then sharing it only through secure, controlled channels you trust, never directly linking back to the raw AI conversation itself. Copy, cleanse, share securely.
Okay. We've talked about reacting to incidents after they occur, about building better habits moving forward. But proactive defense,
Yeah.
that feels like the real key to long-term security, doesn't it? What if we could integrate some kind of safety co-pilot directly into our AI workflow, something that reviews our inputs before we even hit send?
Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting and honestly kind of mind-blowing. Our source material shares this incredibly detailed prompt template. And it's not just a simple command, it's basically a full-blown risk management framework baked into a prompt. Think of it like a rapid safety audit you run before you'd have any sensitive interaction with the AI. the brain behind this prompt. It's built on three really solid pillars. First, the NIST AI RMF, that's the U.S. National Institute of Standards and Technology's AI risk management framework. Basically, a structured government process for governing, mapping, measuring, and managing AI risks. The prompt actually simulates this process.
Okay.
Second, the OWASP LLM Top 10. That's the Open Worldwide Application Security Projects list of the biggest security vulnerabilities for large language models. It flags common attacks like prompt injection or leaking sensitive info. The prompt actively looks for these. And third, GDPR principles. Europe's big data protection regulation, which really emphasizes data minimization, basically only collecting and keeping data that's absolutely necessary. The prompt pushes you towards that, recommending removing extra info. So by combining these three things, the prompt doesn't just check your text, it forces the AI to almost think like a security expert, a data privacy lawyer, and a risk manager all at once. Whoa! I mean, imagine scaling that kind of proactive defense across a whole organization, baking security right into the workflow from the start. That's genuinely powerful stuff for data governance.
That sounds incredibly sophisticated in its design. Let's just briefly look in the prompt template structure. How does it actually function?
Yeah, the structure is super clear, which is great. It starts with a system instruction. This tells the AI what its role is. Essentially, it becomes your personal safety and privacy reviewer for this interaction. Then you have the INPU-SC section. This is where you fill in the key details for context. Your country, the purpose of the AI interaction, what kinds of data are involved, like PII, financial data, that sort of thing, how you plan to share the output, and importantly, your acceptable risk tolerance level. And then finally, you have the task itself. This tells the AI to execute 5 specific crucial steps based on your inputs.
And those 5 steps, that's where the real analysis, the real safety check happens, right?
Exactly. Each step does a specific job. First is pre-check map. This step scans your input and identifies any sensitive bits, PII, secrets, anything that might violate data minimization principles like under GDPR, and it even flags risks from that OWASP list like potential prompt injection vulnerabilities. Second step is measure. Here, it actually scores each risk it found based on severity and likelihood. It presents this in a little table, super easy to grasp, like accidental PII exposure, high risk, or prompt injection, medium risk. Third is manage. This is the mitigation part. It gives you concrete suggestions for redactions and rewrites. It might replace names with placeholders like employee name, rewrite sentences to avoid revealing confidential figures, maybe reduce the granularity of data, or add constraints like do not ask for home addresses. Fourth is safety controls. Based on your context and region, it adds 5 specific guardrails. Things like ensure no external links are executed by the AI, or limit data retention and logging for this specific chat session. Tailored advice. And finally, step 5 is the final gate. This is the bottom line. It gives you one of 3 outputs, either a clean prompt output, safe version ready to use, or a concise checklist of things you still need to do manually, or if it decides the risk is still too high even after mitigations, it just says do not use and briefly explains why.
Okay, let's try to make this really tangible. Could you walk us through how, say, an HR professional might use this in their day-to-day work?
Yeah. Perfect example. Okay, imagine an HR or maybe a legal professional, let's say, based in Vietnam. They need to use an AI to help summarize an employee complaint before briefing internal leadership. So their inputs would be country, Vietnam, context, employee complaint summary for leadership briefing, data types, PII, sensitive allegations, sharing, internal leadership only, risk tolerance, very low because it's sensitive HR data. Okay, so they run the prompt. The output would likely include a risk table highlighting the high risk of PII exposure and maybe potential legal implications if not handled correctly. Then, the manage step would generate a carefully anonymized summary. It would replace specific names, like maybe Minh Dien Van with a placeholder like complainant. Specific dates or times might become vaguer, like early August. And the accompanying checklist, the final gate part, would probably include crucial points like share this summary only through encrypted email channels, store the original complaint document on a secure, access-controlled server, and critically, ensure the AI chat history for this specific session is disabled and then deleted immediately after use. You see, it's not just cleaning the text, it's building in these essential process safeguards around the interaction.
Wow. So it really is like having a digital lawyer and a security expert built into your process, reviewing your AI interactions before any sensitive data even leaves your control.
Yeah.
What would you say is the ultimate, most profound benefit of using a prompt like this for our listeners?
The ultimate benefit is truly gaining an AI co-pilot dedicated to proactive security. It embeds a really sophisticated risk assessment right into your daily workflow. It helps transform AI from what could be a potential liability into a securely managed, powerful asset. That's the core value. Mid-roll sponsor read.
So when we step back and look at all this, what does it really mean for us, this ChatGPT incident? It feels like it was a pivotal moment, maybe even an expensive lesson for this digital age we're in.
An expensive lesson, maybe, but a truly valuable one, I think. The big idea, the main takeaway we want you to hold on to is this. AI is an unbelievably powerful tool. It's a genuine amplifier of human capability, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But with that immense power comes an equally immense responsibility. It really is on us, the users, to be vigilant, to truly understand the dynamic digital landscape we're operating in, and to take active, conscious ownership of our data.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
By proactively cleaning up our digital footprints, like we discussed, by adopting these much safer workflows, and by consciously building a truly vigilant privacy-first mindset, we really can harness AI's incredible potential without constantly worrying about sacrificing our privacy and security. It's all about intelligent engagement, isn't it? Informed, responsible engagement.
Couldn't agree more. It really means embracing the innovation that AI offers wholeheartedly, but doing it while maintaining unwavering, conscious control over our data. It's about finding that balance.
This deep dive has hopefully shed some light on both the immediate actions you might need to take and the kind of strategic mindset required for a more secure AI future. Now, as we wrap up, we want to leave you with a thought to maybe mull over.
Yeah, what other hidden risks might still be lurking just beneath the surface as AI continues to evolve at this absolutely breakneck pace? And maybe more importantly, think about how you personally will integrate this newfound vigilance, this awareness, into your own daily digital interactions from now on. Definitely something to consider.
Food for thought indeed. Thank you so much for diving deep with us today.
Until next time, stay curious, and above all, stay safe out there. Otiro Music.